My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. Notice: intellectual property theft is particularly egregious and equally unlawful where the sole inventor and creator of the intellectual property is the targeted individual. Erica Lorraine Spencer, subject to the unconstitutional and inhumane government system of gang stalking, otherwise referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices, because of which the intellectual property created by the targeted individual, who is, in fact, Erica Lorraine Spencer, as the intellectual property also proves, serves to establish via evidence and expose the existence of criminal surveillance and thus an inherent threat posed by the U.S. government and the civilian population sharing engagement in the unlawful system. Such evidence, that includes all of the content created by Erica Lorraine Spencer, images, videos, audio, etc., belongs solely and entirely to Erica Lorraine Spencer only and is necessarily published online in order to protect her life, safety, and liberty as the targeted individual, who is also the intellectual property owner, no less protected from theft procured through targeting by a public entity. Theft of any intellectual property belonging to Erica Lorraine Spencer, which is necessarily committed while she, being both creator and inventor, remains oppressed by the public entity via criminal surveillance, is a criminal and inhumane means of infringement under all circumstances and not protected nor enforceable pursuant to any invalid or fraudulent acts of copyright, trademarks, patents, etc., including as it pertains to any ideas associated with or generated from the intellectual property or the intellectual property owner, Erica Lorraine Spencer, whether creative, business, or otherwise, nor does the intellectual property owner consent to any such means of infringement and theft. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes and also to reveal the wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C., and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state, and it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state. UPS stalking, Omnitrans stalking, the people of the state, Student Transportation of America stalking. This is the people of the state that I documented in the neighborhoods today, and they're doing so under the fake sun. There's no, UPS is not landing here. I showed you Safeco Auto, gang stalking on Hope Boulevard, In the video, you see the Ontario International Airport stalking in that video with the gang members of the Ontario Police. This is psychotic while they're using planes to stalk me, and they're landing down where behind here is Hope Boulevard. The entity is maintaining plane activity one after another after I've published the identity people of the state who are being prosecuted as I walk through the neighborhood and document their addresses, their license plates, which is exactly what you are entitled to do when the entire neighborhood, when the city is gang stalking, and they will be federally prosecuted. It's not necessary because the entity is being prosecuted, but I am exposing and identifying the federal, the gang stalkers that are engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring, and it includes UPS. All right, UPS is targeting stalking in the path with all manner of light activity. Sun. This is the fake sun. It's 8 a.m. The fake sun is still here 2 hours. We're right here. Ontario police are flying circles over my head. And 2 hours after that, after 12 p.m., the fake sun is still here over the Stater Brothers, where they're monitoring my vagina, trying to break into the bathroom while they're monitoring my device, just like UPS is. That's the Ontario International Airport. That's the same actor with regard to Alan D. Wapner, who's the mayor pro tem, with regard to the Ontario City Hall that has the fake sun over it at both 9:33 a.m. and when it's remaining over me at a distinctly different location, and also it's over me at that same City Hall at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The Ontario International Airport is gang stalking with the mayor pro tem, Alan D. Wapner, at that venue where that fake sun documentation equally applies. This is P.O.C. It's pursuant to federal stalking under Title 18. It's 8:09 a.m. This is American Airlines stalking, the company, and it's the state that's stalking. And they're landing down. By landing, I mean they are lowering an elevation over houses. I'm going to show you what's on the opposite side. I've already shown you from Safeco Auto. This is the P.O.C. They are on the same side that I am on. So they are on what would be the Holt Boulevard, which is what this street is, runs east and west. They're flying east on what is the north side of Holt Boulevard, if that makes sense. They're on the same side of the street that I'm on. When I'm on the opposite side, like when I documented this business over here, next to Seidner's, which is documenting Seidner's as well, but I was standing specifically at this gate. The Ontario International Airport were flying on that side of the street. The fake sun was over that building. The fake sun moves as I move. The gang stalking airport stalks where I'm located. That's literally the definition of stalking, following from place to place. But I'm going to show you they're on this side of the street, and behind is nothing other than the broke down discount car dealerships, the housing community, and the airport is on the south side of Hope Boulevard. It's not even in alignment with Hope Boulevard, as I've documented the Ontario International Airport. This is P.O.C. This is where the entity is lowering. This is the car dealership. That's Safeco. I'm going to prosecute that terrorist that was engaged in criminal summoning with the Ontario Police Department. They're all gang members. And the entity is engaged in what is lowering. They're flying on this side over the subway while they're keeping in alignment with me. The International Airport is not only all the way down Hope Boulevard, it's not even on this side of the street. You're going east on Hope Boulevard, and then you are turning onto Vineyard, and then it's off of Airport Drive, Terminal 2 and Terminal 4. UPS, American Airlines, Southwest Airlines, all of the airlines are going to be federally prosecuted. But this is what the entity is doing, and it's going to be captured in images and in video. And they're stalking with regard to the presence of the people of the state who are all stalking me, including on the roads and the highways. Everybody in these businesses, Subway is gang stalking, Metro T-Mobile, Erica's insurance company is stalking. The fake sun moves. It's no longer me at that at the smoke shop, Standard Barber, King's Ink tattoo shop area. It moves as I move. Okay, that's the pattern of conduct. And just to show you, there's back here. They are psychotic. They're psychotic. This is Vine Avenue. That the next intersection over here is Vine Avenue. That's the church. The Demons of Vos Church. There is no airport. There's no landing. They're not landing on anything and then driving the plane. This is the entity that is blatantly stalking. Okay? This is not a loss by the government for being caught stalking. They're going to be committed for the criminal conduct that they continuously engaged in, not accomplishing their purpose, doing it before the world, and doing it. Alrighty, this is Eric Spencer. He is engaged in the pattern of conduct. He's doing so with the City of Ontario, the Ontario Police Department. You'll recall him gang stalking me at the Ontario Town Square, as I documented in the morning several months ago. I documented that audible activity on my podcast. This is a threat. Eric Spencer engaged in what is plotting my murder with Tracy Banks, engaging in what is disingenuous audible activity creation as though you don't know where I'm at, but yet you're in the specific environment, which is proof that you know exactly where I'm at. In fact, you're targeting. And the entities engaged in which is Eric Spencer is engaging in what is arriving at the town square, threatening my life because this is a threat, not when you're friendly and out offering a cupcake, but when you're in that environment monitoring with the government. They're stalking with planes and helicopters and invading my privacy in the same manner. And while I'm in operation of my device documenting sexual assault and battery, which is exactly how the entity stalking you in this environment is going to be executed in federal court, Eric Spencer, who is a gang stalker, is walking up. Eric Spencer, who I believe is domiciled in Oakland, California, in the same exact pattern of conduct with the Ontario International Airport, where it does not change because I know that third party's name. Okay. Bigger picture, Eric Spencer and Tracy Banks are gang stalking me on this same street at the Arco and the, which is on the opposite side of this apartment building. That was at 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning. The fake sun, they're walking on the sidewalk. They're walking up like, again, you're going to just automatically be able to criminally defame the target individual. They have a big surprise coming. They're both going to prison. But this is what the entity that is malicious. They have a false sense of confidence because they're gang stalking with future felons like Mike Lorenz, who have incriminated them. And they're engaged in the pattern of conduct. The Ontario Police Department and Eric Spencer are under the same fake sun at the same address. It is currently 1:45 p.m. He knows exactly where I'm at, and he is admitting to what is knowledge about a YouTube channel that I've never spoken to him about. He has been subscribed to my YouTube channel while he is jumping back and forth with regard to what is his source of knowledge. And the reason why that's being addressed and I'm documenting on video is because he's stating he didn't know where I was at and he just walked around here. That's a lie. Okay, the entity's keeping the fake sun over me at Economy Inn from sunrise until sunset, where I'm subject to surveillance. They're stalking with impossible light while they're driving by, which has nothing to do with sunlight. 9JBT134 is engaging in surveillance in the same way that Eric Spencer is and Brightview is. And the OVITT Family Community Library, where this fake sun is not over that entrance. This is the P.O.C. The entities engaging in this light source. Remember, I'm here at 9 o'clock in the morning. The fake sun is still over me at the same exact Ontario Town Square. This is the P.O.C. I want to be clear. Eric Spencer is relevant to what is federal prison. It is axiomatic. When your fake friends and family have conspired your murder with the government, they are going to federal prison. It's an act of terrorism, and the government relies on the people of the state in the same way that they rely on what is the false sense of anonymity when none of them are strangers in that specific environment. That's also going to be dealt with under federal law. But those that are closest to you, they are the state. And they're engaging in that pattern of conduct with malice to take your life. And Eric Spencer is going to prison. This is P.O.C. It is currently 1:46 p.m. This is P.O.C. I just want you to see how it is indistinguishable. Eric Spencer, the threat that he poses to my life, and a hillbilly sex offending demon engaging in what is drive-by gang stalking, sexual assault and battery, psychological torture, sexual violence with an unlawful touching. I wouldn't let that old dirty bastard touch me with his crusty hands, nor is he under the law going to touch with impossible light. The criminal purpose of federal stalking monitoring, and the people are by the millions, by the thousands, by the hundreds, scores and scores of them sharing in that sex offense together. While they are stalking, under the law, it will be recognized as what is an ongoing group sexual violation. While they are gang stalking you, they are touching you as a gang, stalking you as a gang, monitoring as you as a gang, psychologically torturing you as a gang, harassing as a gang, and so is Wells Fargo, who I'm going to prosecute. Wells Fargo is located at 240 North Euclid Avenue. Wells Fargo making money while all their customers are engaging in the same tag team sexual violence, getting in their cars, crossing paths under the fake sun that's still here like at 9 o'clock in the morning, where Eric Spencer is here gang stalking me. And this is a disingenuous gang stalking relative who is very well engaged in what is plotting my murder. His poor lying is juxtaposed with the gang stalkers of who are the people of the state. 49106, sexual assault and battery, and psychopaths that do so while they keep their back to you. And those psychopaths are also blood related to you. Lying to your face about not knowing where you are. You know exactly where I'm at, and that is gang stalking me in concert with the people of the state. This is P.O.C. I want to be clear. A vagina monitor is one that is in your family. It's of a spirit. It is the public entity. And Eric Spencer is one of those, and I will prosecute that sex offender no differently than any other predator under the law. This is P.O.C. It is currently 2:30 p.m. This is how you know everybody on the roads are stalking. That's the entity that, there's no airport over here. The Ontario International Airport, gang stalking me. coming back from Upland. Upland was gang stalking all day, and that's exactly what I documented. That's the Ontario National Airport. I'm at what is the 10 freeway, just so you know where I'm at, where the entities engage in psychopathic behavior. This is surveillance, and it's a threat to your life. There are no car accidents, by the way, in the specific environment. 58476 Frank 3 is stalking in the specific environment, proven through the stalking conduct by the City of Ontario. The demon-possessed that are engaged in psychopathic pacing in the sky space, obtaining criminal surveillance throughout the city, which is what Paul Leon is going to be federally prosecuted for. There is no basis under the law, state or federal constitution for him to engage in, facilitate, enable, participate in with the people of the state and the government in criminal surveillance, moreover, conspiring my murder. That's engaged in the sexual assault and battery as an entity of demons that are stalking me as a population. As they go to whatever destination that they're going to, they are at this moment in time focused on me, stalking with engineered light. The moment that they make a turn, the traffic lights in the engineered environment. This is the entity that's engaging in what is an ongoing act while they're all stalking together. 9 NWK 268. 8 MPL 852. This is P.O.C. This is the City of Upland gang stalking with the City of Ontario. No, because the Upland Police Department, I'm so important. The Upland Police Department went to Ontario at the bus stop at 537 Euclid Avenue under the 9 a.m. fake sun to gang stalk me. Okay, this is P.O.C. This is the airport that is being shut down. This is a national security threat. They murder people with these commercial airline planes. They are not accidents. They commit acts of terrorism. It's how they practice satanic means of sacrificing people. They call it witchcraft. It's not witchcraft. They're just demons. The wicked that are in positions that are threatening to the national security. This is P.O.C. So are the people of the state. They're a threat to national security. This is P.O.C. It is currently, like I stated, 6:46 p.m. coming right across the city line from Upland to Ontario, and the P.O.C. is underway. They came all the way up to the the city line to maintain plane activity, much more north of what is the Stater Brothers parking lot. Okay, there's no airport over here. This is the acid entity that they're engaged in. Their mental illness is proven through their criminal pattern of conduct, and they, being gang stalking pilots, are going to be committed. This is P.O.C. That's sexual assault and battery by Michael GERKEN. All right, this is P.O.C. It's impossible light activity that's coding across the wall, which is coding across my person. And they do it as soon as I highlight the location where the Ontario International Airport is stalking by hovering like they're going to land in this elaborate housing community, which is, again, north of 5th Street right here. This is Euclid Avenue, and I'm at Plaza Serena. The fire department were stalking me, just like all the rest of the people. These are all stalkers. They're stalking on the roads and the highways. And the moment I use my device to take a picture of where the entity is stalking by planes, hovering, I just took a picture of it, hovering and flying in the direction which is east, where the entity has impossible light moving all across the building. That's what the entity is doing with the fire truck. That's not the vehicle lights that's causing cascading shadows to move around. Those trees aren't moving. Those vehicles are on the opposite side. Their headlights aren't even facing in this direction. Those are demons. And so is Michael GERKEN and that Ontario Fire Department, engaging in what is criminal summoning, for which the Ontario Police Department are being disbanded. And the Ontario Fire Department is also going to be removed. They're engaged in surveillance. In doing so, in furtherance of murder, they're stalking. And you see this? My shadow, that's all the way. Okay, and here's my shadow. It's my shadow here. And there's another shadow here in the dark. They're all stalking, and so is the Ontario Fire Department. This is the entity that's engaged in that, and this is where the Ontario International Airport is stalking together. This is the citywide effort, hovering and flying in this housing community, where everybody in their facilitating venues will be federally prosecuted, not private properties. This is P.O.C. This is Plaza Serena Court, where the entity sounds sirens with simultaneity to using my device, which is under surveillance, and there's no warrant or probable cause for the government to keep me under surveillance, including via the Ontario Fire Department, the sex offenders that include Michael GERKEN. This is P.O.C. It is currently 7:09 p.m. These are stalkers. There you go, Exhibit A. They're stalking. And those are not headlights, like I stated. Everything on the roads and the highways while I'm walking
in the city of Upland, into the city of Ontario, where the entity is engaging in that exact same conduct. North of this location where I'm at, the 10 freeway off of 6th Street and Euclid Avenue, where these are puppets of Satan, and with regard to the state's pattern of conduct, puppets of the city of Ontario, engaging in things like vagina monitoring, stalking with engineered light that's moving across this building over where their headlights are not going to reach, where the light activity, the light fixtures do not create this light activity. My shadow upright, multiple shadows, okay? And the entity's maintaining what is this engineered environment where they're stalking together. That's a psychopath. They're engaging in pacing together. These are stalkers. The city of Ontario and the city of Upland are full of stalkers, okay? And they're demon-possessed gang stalkers. And this is illustrative with regard to what fills the state of California. And it is demonstrative of what is the evidence satisfying what is the basis to prosecute the U.S. government for domestic terrorism, for this gang violence. This is P.O.C. The Ontario International Airport is stalking, okay? And this is the entity that's doing so not only beyond a reasonable doubt, as I have proof of them going from place to place, having nothing to do with the terminals, landing or taking off from the airport, engaging that in the specific environment to a scientific degree. The Ontario International Airport are full of unstable psychopaths who are stalking me in furtherance of the conspiracy to murder in concert with the vagina monitors who are the people of the state. That's a demon stalking with light perfectly in the path. That is the V.O.S. Church, the intersection of C Street and Euclid Avenue, where I'm documenting the fake sunrise and sunset. This is P.O.C. It is currently 8:41 p.m. The people of the state are puppets. These are gang members who are not gangster at all. These are demons who are engaging in what is group conduct together. And it's going to be the disbanding, the removal of the police, the fire department, the airport, the gang stalking EMTs and ambulances. The gang members that are filling the state that are here in a privileged country. This is the entity that's doing this north of this location, doing so over the Stater Brothers parking lot. This is mental illness that is in operation in the city of Ontario, and it is indeed a threat. This is P.O.C., the entity that's engaged in ongoing obsessive stalking, regardless of the fact that Mike LORENZ is going to prison. That's how psychotic they are. That's engaged in ongoing documented stalking, regardless of the fact that the people of the state are being deported and prosecuted as terrorists, regardless of the fact that they're being committed, regardless of the fact that you're watching this in other parts of the world, looking at the instability of American citizens. They're still stalking in front of the whole world. That's how psychotic they are. That's why the airport's being shut down. This is P.O.C. It is currently 8:42 p.m. That's psychopathic pacing. It's not traffic. They're pacing. They're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And as I move around, they're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth all around me, everywhere that I'm going. They're demons, and they are indeed stalking. This is P.O.C.